I've got what you wanted.
Excellent. Now for the second part of your task.
Second part? That wasn't part of the deal.
Does that surprise you, Chiron? He is a Borberadian. It is his duty to betray you.
I heard that you came back after all these years. Your screams of pain still sound the same as ever.
You stole my daughter, and now you want to play my son off against me.
She is my daughter. You are the kidnapper.
I wanted to save her soul, and now she's only here because you are forcing her.
She chose me, voluntarily, because I didn't patronize her and lie to her for her whole life. Because I love her for what she really is, and what she will become. Her and Chiron.
You're fighting over Calandra while her camp may be overrun at any moment. Segal, I got you the acid, now finally tell me how I can raise the Akaz.
2 tasks. That is my condition. Not the least because I helped you to free this traitor.
You?
I distracted Azrael's attention. I thereby determined the time for the rescue. I wanted to exact the price later, but apparently Azrael has done it for me. I offered them an idea which had to fascinate Azrael. That perhaps it was the traitor's eyesight which prevented him from seeing his mistake. Once you broke your promise, for which I was disfigured. But now we're even. And Chiron agreed. Right, Chiron?
Chiron, is that true?
He said he would find you at any cost. I did not want it to end this way.
How? How could you let it happen? How could you do that to your father?
Father, I'm not responsible for what other people decide.
Do you still want to be my son? Chiron, do you want that?
I think he will do anything to save Calandra. For that he needs an army. The army of the Akaz. The statues which stand in Calandra's camp. I can tell you how to raise them. I want nothing in return. Just a gesture. Just a small gesture. A symbol. Near the pavilion you will find the room where your siblings grew up. The acid you now have is very potent. A few drops are sufficient to turn the incubators, from which the awakened were cut during their birth, to black mud. That will be a sign to me of which side you are on. The fact that you recognize your true destiny.
You want to awaken the Akaz, those mindless fighting machines. I was there myself when Azrael did that once.
Then tell me how to do it, Father.
That I cannot do, not anymore. I must be sure of you. Segal demands a symbol. I demand one too. In the rooms, you will find frescoes showing the 7 awakened in their eternal struggle. Use the acid to destroy them. That's the least I can ask of the man who wants to be my son.
So you demand a second round in the battle for fatherhood, you fool. This is not about sympathy. This is about truth. Chiron will make the right decision for his destiny.
What's the purpose of these incubators?
They locked your mother's bodies during Zulgaroth's summoning. Segal wants to erase every memory of the human part of the awakened.
Their destinies will live on in the first paladin.
A destiny they never asked for, and one which killed them. They aren't your sacred heralds of a new era. They were people, and they never wanted to be anything else.
This path was predestined for them. Without the gifts, they would never have been born. Your betrayal has not only led Chiron and Calandra from their destiny, you robbed them of their childhood. You wished you had never sired the Awakened, and then you stole 2 of them to turn them into your creatures.
The other Awakened are dead. Chiron do not allow the incubators to be destroyed. Those are the last memories of who they once were.
These frescoes, what do they show?
The destiny of the Awakened, from their baptism in the blood of their mothers to their unification in the first Paladin.
A story of beings born from death to bring death.
It is the way of the world that the strongest triumph. But the frescoes remind the awakened that they do not belong to the same cycle as lesser humans. What do you see when you look at your reflection, Chiron? The past? The son of the man whom you call father? Or do you see the future? All the great things that you could achieve?
Do not listen to him, Chiron. Please, believe me, you're much more than just your gift.
I'll see you later.
Azarel's schemes around conception and birth of the Seven Awakened were impenetrable. Chiron knew he would never be sure which of the two men was his real father. The decision had to be made. He must either choose the man who had brought him up severely, who had protected and lied to him for years, or would he choose Segal, who studied Zulgarov's gifts to Chiron and knew his potential? Chiron had made his decision. The acid was flowing, and whatever it touched was reduced to debris and steaming mud. I knew what you would decide.
Without the things you taught me, I would not be standing here today.
Then let us awaken this army together. This crystal can free them from their stone prison. Some splinters are missing. Azarel's cultists carry them with them.
So I get the splinters from the cultists and insert them there.
Good, my son. I'll wait here.
Father, you know about Calandra's decision concerning Segal.
She decided against us, and for the Borberadians. Segal's lies seduced her. Like thousands before her, she will succumb to the temptations of power. But maybe she will at least be happy until then with her biological father.
Have you really given up on her completely?
She will want what is good but create evil. So it is with all who choose Borberad. I know you need her to break the gift's compulsion, but until then you are both in danger. Sooner or later, the gifts will overwhelm you. For that reason alone, you should stay away from Calandra. But at least, we two have stuck together. That is something to treasure indeed.
Is there anything else about the awakened Akaz I need to know?
Those Akaz are very old. They may even have been petrified back in the days of the Mage Wars.
Actually, the Akaz are a humanoid race with their own culture. But these here seem to have no will of their own.
The one who awakens them controls them, although they can actually think for themselves. Strange idea, isn't it?
So I get the splinters from the cultists and insert them there.
Good, my son. I'll wait here.
See you later.
Take care of yourself. And Calandra.
We'll show that self-proclaimed high prophetess just who the church really belongs to.
I see you've decided for your father, for our past, and for me. We've waited long enough, Chiron. The night before the final battle will be ours. Come.
I want you here on the ground. The whole damn monastery should hear us.
My entire body longs for you. Take me, now! We'll gasp with lust and pain. Our kisses will be bites.
This day you will scream my name.
Now come.
They loved one another. All night long, their bodies demanded more, and still more. When they awoke from the rapture into which they had plunged themselves with such fervor, the pillows were drenched with sweat, and their naked bodies bore scratches and bites. On the day of the great storm, Chiron and Calandra met as vibrantly as they did breathlessly. They knew that Zulgarov's gifts had played a role that night, and that they could not think of true love as long as Azrael commanded their souls, and the demonic fever commanded their very actions. The struggle of the awakened had to end.
The splinters, do you have them?
Yes. An army of lizards. Once the crystal is whole again, they will overrun Azrael's people.
Good. At least I can count on you in battle.
What's that supposed to mean?
You even need ask. I was weak, and you took advantage of it.
What?
You're so selfish. You talk about us freeing ourselves of the gift's compulsion, and as soon as you get the chance, you make me its whore.
It sounded a little different when you were sitting on me.
I should kill you here and now.
Try it.
We have a battle to fight. Everything else will have to wait.
At your service, noble lady. With joy I remain forever your knight in shining armor.
A fool is what you are, and a damned handsome one at that. Come on! The Akaz have waited long enough.
Finish the summoning, mistress. We will hold him off.
I underestimated you. Well then.
What have you done?
Silence, Azrael! Your days of seducing people are over!
You are defeated, Azrael. My people are already deciphering your secret of the Pact, and the power you wanted to use to make us your tools. That power will now bring freedom to the world.
Calandra, please listen to me one last time. The seals are broken. You have unleashed Zul'Goroth's power!
Shut up, demon whore! No one believes your lies now. The era of the High Prophetess has ended. The new church will lead the world into a shining new future.
Calandra, what's going on here?
This battle cost us much, yet my troops are far from exhausted. The portal will take me into Moloch Mountain, the place of our awakening. From there shall the storm defeat the storm.
Girl, that is madness! You do not know what you're doing!
I am the greatest opener of portals, Portifex Maxima! The next portal will deliver my army to the continent. From Razazor's golden throne will I set the demons on one another, until not a single one wanders the face of Aventuria!
Calandra, you are not yourself!
Minions of the Heptarch, servants of the 12 gods, hirelings of some prince. Countless names for those who are able to hunt and enslave us far too long. But with the seals did that bondage also break. Chiron, let us break the chains of tyranny. We are the power and the will to return the people to their freedom. We are Borboradians.
I believe in the freedom Borborad promised, but not that we can impose it on the people. We will become tyrants ourselves.
You had the sacred task of breaking the seals. We wanted to establish the new church together.
What you are planning is madness! Not even you can control the demon hordes you want to call.
Whose side are you on?
Calandra, I will follow you anywhere, but not into this war.
Whoever is not with me is against me. You pass judgment on Azrael. I expect you in Moloch Mountain.
Foolish child! She could have been the first paladin.
Silence!
You are the victor, you are right. But that won't stop Zul'Goroth. He has already used you and me. Now it's Calandra's turn.
What is that supposed to mean?
Do you really think I wanted to control the first paladin purely out of lust for power? Do you think me that stupid? The paladin was supposed to be a symbol for the church, young and powerful. Calandra is a prime example of just where that mixture leads. I granted Zul'Goroth much power in our sphere. My bond with the Awakened prevented the demons from controlling them. You destroyed that protection. It won't be any harmless Heshtotin that come through that portal. It will be Zul'Goroth himself. So, kill me if you must. But no, with me dies the only ally you have left against him.
You lie out of habit. How do I know that you haven't influenced Calandra yourself?
I'm already finished. What do I have to be afraid of? Killing me would only be denying that which you are. What you had the chance to become thanks to me.
You brought misery upon me and Calandra. We were condemned to a life as refugees. And now you want to sell me all that as having been a blessing. I should kill you.
Perhaps it is difficult to understand. But my defeat is also a victory. Because here you stand, with your indomitable will and your power, a symbol of the strength of our faith. Even though I did not carry you in my womb, it was through you that you came into this world. And I'm proud of you.
Let's say I let you live. What happens to the new church?
Despite the great sacrifice, my fight with Calandra was fruitful. Our conflict has strengthened the passion of the believers. The weak died in our war, and the survivors are the foundation of a new, powerful church. And so it is, with joy, that I give the faithful my last gift, the secret of breaking hearts.
So your purpose is fulfilled, and you accept your death.
I am the living reminder of all that the Master taught us. The church will live without me, but it will change. And eventually, Borbarad's teachings will fade. No freedom, no spirit, only symbols. They will follow you. You are hand and sword of the faith. I am but its soul. And whether the soul is important or not, that is a decision for the victor.
You say Zolgaroth has betrayed us all?
The sphere portals. Kalandra's gift is so powerful because it is the most useful to Zolgaroth. I should have realized that when I brought her with me. He got you to break the seals. He took advantage of Kalandra's idealism. And what role your father played? Greatest weakness. I should have guessed that as well.
For a being of chaos, he has plans surprisingly far ahead.
He snared us all by where our spirit fails, through our fiends.
You will live, as long as you are of use to me.
I will be your faithful advisor. The new church will be more powerful than ever before. The seventh seal was the seal of the anointing of the new ruler. You have endowed us with a catechism. What is to be done with it?
Kalandra wanted us to renew the church. The book is intended to help.
Thy will be done.
I have something to do now. Kalandra's waiting for me.
Once Zolgaroth has crossed through the portal, only the first paladin will be able to send him back. The paladin's power can destroy the portal, but for that, all the gifts must be united.
Then Zolgaroth shall fall through his gift to me.
With the seals broke, the gift's compulsion to kill as well. You can now take Kalandra's gift, or give her your own.
The paladin will arise, and he will be free. That was my contract with the demon.
And he will honor it, word for word. You can save Aventuria, and one of your souls. One. Good luck, Chiron. You're going to need it. My deepest respect, Portifex Maximus. I will serve the new church as well as I can.
I just cannot understand how you could let Azrael live. But the catechism will be the most important cornerstone of the new church. We will proclaim what is written, and we will do so with pride. May Saint Borbarad bless you, Chiron.
Azrael cost me more than my eye, but you stayed with me. That's more than I could ever ask for. You have defeated the enemy who destroyed my life. And despite the demonic gift, you have shown humanity in sparing her. I'm very proud of you. And maybe this new church really can do some good. Maybe it will one day be what I once saw in it. Most important of all, you're alive. We're both alive. We can save Kalandra. We shouldn't lose any time. It's a long way to Warunk. Should we get going?
I want to look around a bit more first.
Azaril has met her match. Calandra will be a better leader, but this deplorable book will bring nothing but mischief. You should have destroyed it.
The new church will be better than the old one. Accept that, Solace.
You will regret it. Count on it.
Your victory shames the greatest of heroes. It is a pity that you still repudiate your destiny.
Azaril cost me more than my eye, but you stayed with me. That's more than I could ever ask for. Should we get going?
Let's go, Father.
And so Chiron left the monastery, his victory over Azaril complete. First did the demon Zul'Goroth turn her own pact against her, and then did she prove to be no match for those she had used as tools. Borberad's church would survive, and the faithful would spread the new doctrine. The doctrine Chiron had conceived in the course of his bizarre visions in the monastery. Azaril's death had become meaningless, superfluous. In Zul'Goroth, she and Chiron now had a common enemy. An enemy that knew how to use Calandra's ambition and her gift to open a gate into the realm of men. Chiron returned to Moloch Mountain in the company of the man he considered his father. Here the lovers would meet again. Here the final decision about Borberad's paladin would be made. When I first came to Arunk, I thought we could lead a peaceful life here, a house, a respectable trade.
The houses are burning, and I guess most of those respectable tradesmen have fallen.
Calandra has already opened her gate. Azaril was right. She can't control the demons.
The gift has gone to her head. Zul'Goroth has been directing her will since Azaril lost control over the gifts. I'll go to her. If we're going to have any chance against the demon, then only the two of us together.
You're right. Zul'Goroth could step into our world at any moment. Here, take this. We once wore it to protect us from demon claws.
Segal and you.
Yes, I'd lend you my weapon arm if I could, but I know my limits.
Just wait here, and keep yourself hidden. We'll stop the demon.
Oh, you're not dead yet. Superb. I thought all that research to be in vain.
Research?
Based on the results of my previous analyses of your magic powers, I made a somewhat more intense study of Borberadianism. Summoning of the entity Zul'Goroth in the Prios Temple. Influences of Alhanian banishment artifacts. Very interesting. I am sure that my conclusions would make your jaw drop in amazement. In all modesty, of course.
You analyze me again, Magus.
Most certainly. Filled with the fury of the researcher and legitimized by the merciless authority of science.
You have too much time, Magus. Were you locked up again?
Perhaps. But perhaps you can set aside your egocentric reservations for a moment. I mean, if you are interested in the relationships in magical theory which could explain the appearance of a previously rarely known archdemonic entity, or prevent...
What makes you think that?
Hyper-quantitative accumulation of demonic entities, Nodex-oriented localization. It doesn't take a genius to draw conclusions.
What exactly is a Limbus Gate?
According to the theory behind the sphere model, the universe consists of 7 spheres, shells nested one inside the other and enclosing one another. Our sphere is referred to as the 3rd. Then come the realm of the dead in the 4th, the so-called citadel of the gods in the 5th, and the star wall in the 6th sphere. The 7th sphere is attributed to infinite chaos and is considered the birthplace of the demonic entities. Limbus gates break through these shells. They permit travel through the interstices, the limbus. And if one were to open such a conduit to the 7th sphere without something on the order of a demigod waiting at this end to oppose the new arrivals, then one will learn the hard way why these Limbus gates are also called Gates of Horror.
Zul'Goroth, the creator of the demonic gifts, helped me. Of his own free will.
He was probably following an entirely different goal than he made you believe. Consider, if demons plan, then they probably do so for the very long term, from an eternal point of view. A single human lifespan is not a period worth mentioning.
With his help, the first paladin can arise, without the last of the awakened and I being forced to kill one another. He will release one of our souls.
A small price to pay for giving him access to our sphere, and in your place, I would not be too sure that you will survive the whole thing. If there is still one last awakened, they will hardly give up the immense power that the gift, or better said, the demon, provides them. Whose will is that strong? That would have to be true love. And honestly, do you consider that a sufficiently reliable factor?
You know of the merging of the demonic gifts?
The first paladin. It's a shame that you, of all people, have been chosen. You've been such an interesting case study.
Perhaps you can continue to study me. The awakened no longer need to kill one another.
You really believe that it will be that easy? That the paladin will arise, and that which rumbles over there will withdraw in fear? I have never come across any demon worth mentioning that would have allowed a once-promised soul to escape.
You mean someone will have to sacrifice himself?
I'm afraid so. The fundamental irony of vulgar Borberadian preaching rhetoric. From the 7 grows the paladin. His first great feat, he eliminates himself. Fabric for an ancient tragedy, if you ask me, but forget about that.
How hard is it to close a Limbus gate?
It depends on the size. These things can grow once they are open, and if an entity worthy of being taken seriously wants to pass through it, they'll do all they can to keep the corresponding gate open. Only a different, equally powerful being would be able to counter that, and since the probability of such an intervention closely approaches 0, you will have to focus on the Limbus gate itself. massive discharge of temporal impensation, or as it is commonly called, Druid's Revenge. Conclusion, interspherical collapse of extraordinary dimension.
What?
Gather all of the power you can find, all of your spell power, vitality, strength of spirit. Concentrate all of that on the Limbus Gate. And then, boom.
I have to go now.
As you wish. I wish you success, Chiron. Kick that impertinent astral parasite's arse.
Chiron the Savior. I knew you'd come. The trap has sprung. Calandra will be pleased.
Anyone who opposes me is Calandra's enemy as well.
She ordered us to keep her free of all distractions. And you're the last person she wants to see now in the pyramid, as she is opening the Limbus Gate. She understands that she has conferred too much responsibility upon you. Too much for your little mind. The very fact that you let Azrael live shows your weakness. She has you wrapped around her finger, and you haven't even noticed. On a whim, you decided thousands of free spirits were to follow your moronic catechism. You are pathetic and dispensable.
You don't stand a chance, Solace. My decision was right, but you're too stuck in your little rut to understand that.
I will crush you!
Then let's get started.
Welcome, mortal. Welcome to the Limbus.
Let her go. Kalandra's soul was never part of our deal.
Silence, mortal. I gifted you richly for your services. We are even. The girl fulfills the destiny I gave her when she was born. Borberite, or whomever she has thrown it away on, may have her soul. But your purpose is already fulfilled. I shall pass through her gate into the next era, and your world will accompany me.
He is weakened. Quick! We must close the gate.
All right, I'll take your gift. Hold still.
Calandra, wait.
It's all my fault. I let myself be seduced. Don't stop me from making amends.
You want to be the first paladin? Sacrifice yourself to throw Zul'Goroth back.
What do you want, Chiron? Sometimes you say one thing and sometimes the other.
What do you mean?
I had the courage to kiss you back then. That made you happy. You stood by me back when we told Father. If anyone asked during your search for me, did you ever admit that we are more than just siblings? In the Clawmore, before Gamut? I don't know. I don't want to know if you've kissed any other girls on your travels. But what happened between you and Cassio? Maybe you have turned her down. But can I really believe you?
That was before I saw you again. Now everything has changed. We've changed.
What does that mean? Have we grown so far apart? When we met again in the monastery, we both felt it. At least, I thought so. But you made me more and more confused. You condemned my new faith. And once your father was freed, you turned against me. When the situation was completely hopeless, you encouraged me, showed me that the casualties of the revolution were not in vain. And then, our first night.
Why did you have Solus attack me?
I ordered him to prevent any distractions. Maybe I was angry.
I will take your gift, and you will live on.
You really want to give me this greatest of all gifts?
We don't know what will happen when the first paladin arises. Maybe I'll survive. We've had a lot of bad luck up till now. Time to change that.
You... Oh, you're a fool. Farewell, Chiron. I will always love you. Always.